Welcome to The Equation. I'm James.
And I'm James.
So, Jim.
James.
Star Wars.
Yeah, what about it? What did you not understand about it?
What was it?
It was something with like the extended universe, the EU.
Oh, the okay, that's the word. Yeah, canon. There's the canon.
And then legends.
So canon,
Sucked at it.
legends. What's the difference?
So canon is like basically what Disney is like completely like this is what has happened in the history of Star Wars. And then the extended universe is stuff like the old like comic books and stuff that they made. That's more so stuff that like doesn't, it's more of like a what if sort of thing.
All right. So another question I would have for that is, before Disney owned Star Wars, was the canon and legends, was there more stuff that was canon added from legends, or was there less?
They're more, pretty much the entire extended universe before Disney owned it was canon, but then Disney owned it, and now they're saying that they pretty much said everything that came out before was not canon except for the movies. So then they started writing more stuff. Like there's like these Vader comics that are really good. They're really good.
Yeah, I've heard of those, and
Yeah.
I've seen some of the.
But like they changed like
pictures.
the entire like the newest movies, the newest trilogy, they had comics that were taking place from the end of the prequels up until like later in Luke's life and later in Leia's life. And then the new movies, the new trilogy that just came out, completely discredited all of the comics because it was like completely different.
Yeah.
Everybody had a lot more kids. Like Luke had kids, and there was like, that's not canon anymore. Now that's part of the.
Well, it's such
yeah.
a tragedy that they just threw him in as canon, and they wasted all this other, what do you call it, fan fiction, and other things that were, like you said, Luke had family.
Yeah.
Such.
Well, like, I don't know. I feel like the comics are taking it in a good enough direction. It's just like the movies were. Yeah.
What was that fucking thing Han and Luke were riding on? Tauntaun?
Yeah. What about it?
How many stomachs do they have? Like, a cow has 4 stomachs.
You know, I feel like they'd probably be similar to a cow. I mean that'd be my assumption.
Well, my question is, what did they eat? Because their teeth seem like they have a dietary, they have a vegetable diet, but they live on a really like snow-covered planet. So the hell are they surviving on? I mean,
I don't know, James.
also, who's selling them or transporting them there? Because it doesn't seem like there's a village out there.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they were just like wild and really easy to tame or something. So like maybe they just
Well, in
found
that
one
case,
and
what are
were
they
like,
eating?
Mine. I don't know. Snow.
I mean, I get that, like, the abominable snowman or whatever the fuck he is. I get that he eats, like, the tauntauns, but, like, what do the tauntauns eat?
I'm sure there's life on the planet. Life finds a way, man.
Actually, the whole point that the rebel base was on Hoth was because of how little inhabitants was on that planet.
Well, yeah, but there was still
That's what I
like
mean,
life.
though.
Yeah, I get your point. Like, it doesn't make any sense that Tauntauns should be there. I'm literally looking it up, and they don't say anything about their diet.
See, like, well, here's
Can I
the
see
thing.
a picture?
Here's the thing with.
But you can tell a lot about what they do by their anatomy.
See, here's sort of the thing about the old movies, though, is they didn't have a lot of lore to them.
I understand that George Lucas didn't see
yeah,
Star Wars
they
going
kinda-
off like it did, and
It was originally just supposed to be like basically about Vietnam. I'm pretty sure.
how so?
I'm pretty sure like that's what like the entire thing was supposed to like originally be like based off of. I don't remember like the whole explanation behind it.
I can jump in.
Yeah, I was just trying to find another thing to talk about. Oh, they have horns like
Yeah.
like
What was
their,
the question again?
go.
It was something about Star Wars. Well, the reason why I came over here, I don't remember why.
Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So the Vietnam allegory is because America is the empire attacking the rebels, Vietnam. Except, it's from the rebels' point of view. I mean, I could go deeper into that, but I would get it
Do you
wrong.
want to look up the Wikipedia article on how the Vietnam War started because the U.S. had a false flag of sinking a ship or some bullshit that was Vietnamese?
Amazing segue.
Yeah.
We have segues here.
That's the only thing I can think about when it comes up to Vietnam. How the war the war was started literally by Central Banking Cartel.
Vietnam false start.
False flag.
False flag.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't there like a bunch of false flag? Like, didn't we do that? Isn't that like our like main move is like false flagging, like sinking our own ship and then blaming something?
Yep, that's
Like,
literally what happened.
We blamed the main on Spain. Like, that happened. Like, we've done that way too many times.
A lot of what happens is false flags. Like Alex Jones, the only reason why he ever got his name was disparaged is because when he brought up what do you call that? It was a school shooting. I don't think it was Parkland, but it was one of them. And he brought up it and said it could have been a false flag, brought up different narratives about it. And so now he gets hit with this whole lawsuit defaming his name. Anyways, but that had to do with the idea that there's some of these like shootings could have been prevented. They're not necessarily a false flag, but
Yeah, but I mean, like the way you explained it is missing the whole like him claiming that these people didn't actually die. I think that was the main issue why people discredited his name, is because he said these children didn't die when they did. I'm just adding that to the.
He was looking at different videos at the time of them showing kids going on buses, and then the buses that were shipped out of the area, and like it seemed like they disappeared people, but I guess it was some sort of just like quick evacuation.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like.
So
The way you said it.
You're right. No, you're totally right. Without context.
I really wish I brought a third mic. This is annoying.
Well, now we know for next time.
All right, let's get off that topic.
What right now? What are you doing?
Gulf of Tonkin.
Okay.
I sent you the link. Because I don't have a mic, so I can't literally just start like reading it off. But I sent you the Wikipedia.
The Wikipedia of what?
The Gulf of Tonkin.
The Gulf of. Okay.
I just texted it to you.
But yeah. Anyways, going back to the Star Wars thing. Yeah, George Lucas he was just kind of like. They just threw stuff in there so that they could get them to a part that they actually like had planned out. So a lot of like stuff is just kind of filler. There's a lot of filler stuff in the older movies. So like some of it is just like it's random shit that they threw in there to try and make the story work. But then if you dig into it, you're like, wait, why is this thing?
Is that why in 6 they're able to take this scene in Jabba's palace where they're all dancing around, music's playing, but then they totally re-edited that to make it, that fucking weird alien singing, and
Yeah.
is this why they're able to add stuff and retract stuff? And the stuff they're adding to the series, is that worth it becoming part of it?
I mean, I don't know. There's been
Such a broad question.
Well, I think,
the way you word your questions is just
just have them elaborate more. Like,
Yeah.
just be like,
Well, like,
what do you mean by that?
I don't know, like they kind
don't
of
understand that.
they add and take away stuff like a lot. Like you mentioned, like the person singing in Jabba's palace, like the Twi'lek girl. They took that scene from Jabba's palace of her like basically naked and like singing around, and then when they actually started like explaining her race and stuff, based on that one thing, they made their entire race's history based on like them being sold as like sex slaves and stuff. Like that's who the Twi'leks are. Is like they're basically like the most used race for slavery in the Star Wars universe.
How much do they cost? For like a
They were
9?
probably the cheaper ones. They were the easiest ones to get.
What's like
Because Twi'leks were like everywhere.
what's like top tier in the sex slave industry there?
I have no idea. I just remember that
You're
like
lying.
Ayla Sakura. She's
Jamie, can you pull up Jim's internet search history? He knows about the Twi'leks.
No,
What else is there?
There's a Jedi. She's a blue Twi'lek. Her name's Ayla Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
And she always dressed very revealing to be as like opposed to most other Jedi, and they wrote that into her backstory to be like a stand on the oppression of her people and how they're always like.
God, I'm so fucking. My brain is fried from South Park.
Do you want to develop an app?
That's not South Park.
I know. That doesn't answer my question.
Okay, so with that new Alexa stuff from the South Park, where they, have literally a person. That
Oh
you're
my
dating,
that shit was so
I
funny.
think. Oh, anyway, I see that happening in the future because that's how they literally control you. They make you think they make you think that you're the problem by yelling at you. Well, you know what I mean? Because like that's how they got that's how the Alexas got.
Yeah, there's
them
more realistic and cheaper
Well,
ways
yeah,
to control someone.
it's
though,
a
like
comedic show.
substances
It's
and-
not real, but like I think it's not too far off from what could happen in the future. Having an entire AI robot. In
Well, let's say hypothetically, you put 20% of high school kids on Xanax. Hypothetically, okay. And
It's
then
entirely
hypothetically-
possible.
Hypothetically, you take another, say, 40%. You put them on Adderall. You put them on Ritalin. All right, hold on. And then a good out of those two percentages, those two subgroups, you take about 20% of that, and you make them take all 2 or 3 of the drugs. Now, hold on. Here's the best part. What's going to happen to dwindle their education when this happens? Them rowdy little fucking goofballs. Anyways, Big Pharma has a hold on the fucking everybody.
What does that have to do with what we were talking about?
I don't know. Oh,
It's a fact.
do you want to talk about how the fucking
Don't ask if you want to. Just start talking about it.
all right.
Throw out some stuff.
The teachers' unions control the CDC.
Elaborate. Jim, you have to.
I gotta pull up stuff then. Hold on.
As he's pulling that up, I'll be his voice. What do you want to talk about while he's looking this up?
I don't know.
Let's talk about Star Wars again.
Okay, what about Star Wars?
Are they actually gonna retcon the sequels?
I don't think so.
Well, okay.
Like I don't.
I've
feel
heard
like
I've
they-
heard that like with the Mandalorian stuff, Dave Filoni it's probably not him saying that, but
Yeah.
that his like with the Boba Fett show that's gonna come out really soon and all that other shit. I don't think it's gonna retcon, but like I think they do that. It'd be really stupid. They'd
I
lose
don't
a lot of
think
money.
they can, because I think that they like have basically like completely confirmed that the movies will always be canon. So I don't think they can.
I think all the
retcon
good
any of them.
movies should be canon.
I don't think the new ones should be canon, but like the fucking like
Okay, the sequels are not as bad as I make them out to be.
yeah.
I can enjoy watching them
I can enjoy watching
for
them.
the majority. I
I
can
just-
enjoy watching them once a year.
I can enjoy watching them. I just don't think that.
They're good.
Yeah, I don't think they should be canon.
Well,
Like-
okay.
Like the whole the Sith homeworld thing that they show in the newest one, but they still say that Korriban is canon. And if you look it up, Korriban is technically the homeworld of the Sith.
Okay, well, what was the other thing?
The other Sith homeworld, the one that
Yeah.
Hexagol.
which
you.
is
It's the one that
that's
Palpatine's on.
at the end.
Yeah, it's the one that they find.
Okay, but that movie didn't make any sense. Somehow
I know
the Emperor lives.
That's why that one shouldn't be canon. And like they could have had him go to Korriban because like Korriban's still canon, even though Hexagon's a
first
thing now.
paragraph.
Korriban is still canon. They have not.
There's not much to
Gone back
elaborate
and
on
said that
besides
it's not
that,
yet.
though. Okay, basically, the teachers' unions, the lobbyists for them, control the CDC, and they don't want the schools to reopen. This was like, back before the school last summer. They didn't want the schools to reopen because the teachers wanted to get, just want to stay home and shit, or something like that. And then,
That's the only reason.
yeah, they want your kids on Zoom. That's the main reason. But like, so they lobbied the CDC to have the schools not be reopened. So why the fuck is the teachers' unions controlling the CDC, who is supposed to be science-based, which is supposed to be, let's just say, based on fact? No outside input, fact only. And so this exposed a lot of like how the CDC is just a bunch of fucking lobbyists controlled by Fauci.
Jim, do you have anything?
I fucking nothing.
All right, there you go.
Okay, so basically what you're getting at is that the teachers union controls the CDC to make kids go to school or not go to school.
They don't want the kids to go to school.
Okay. Why? Why would they not?
To help. It's part of the. It's part of the idea that COVID-19 is affecting shutdowns around America, and that schools are shut down, the economy is still shut down, we still need to be under lockdown wearing masks. It's part of the narrative.
I mean, like,
Do you want a different chair?
but we're like pretty much like nowhere near lockdown. Like people get
No,
looked at
this
weird.
this
if
was
they
like
have
a
masks.
year ago though. This was like
Okay.
since the beginning though. Like the teachers unions controlling the CDC, part of the narrative,
Okay.
and it's like how the teachers unions were able to send a letter to the
When did the teachers unions become like this powerful? Like teachers make
just
shit. Why is their union powerful?
bureaucracies, unions, corruption. Okay. What was I gonna say? It's like when the teachers union sent a letter to the head of the the FBI or some shit, or the Homeland Security, and they responded within they sent the letter on Friday or some shit. They responded by Monday. These things usually take like 9 months or some shit like that. Okay, they responded
weird.
right away, and they labeled parents and teachers as domestic terrorists for speaking up at school board meetings and opposing critical race theory. These are the type of control that the teachers unions have on America. Think of
Why?
just think of how that impacts the idea of what we think in the narratives.
I have a question. Explain to me what critical race theory is.
Megatron. Pull it up. Just fucking Wikipedia. I don't have
So
the definition off the top of my head.
anyways, back to what we were saying. I think you were in the middle before you started talking. What were you saying?
Keep going.
All right.
Oh yeah. Okay. So how did the teachers union get like this much like hold over like
I don't know.
like you'd think like genuinely you'd think if
I'm not
they
an
have like
expert.
if the teachers union has this much like control over shit, why do teachers get paid dick when it's literally like their union? What?
Because that's how unions work. Union leaders get the fucking big money.
But like,
Okay, do you know how a union works? Like a 401k, like everybody puts money into it, hope for retirement. You put more money into the pool, more people retire, better life is for you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, the heads of these are like CEOs where they're corrupt and they just keep all the money and then they dictate rules and bullshit. And then they bury this in a layer of bureaucracy where it makes it difficult to make any changes. And so people that are teachers and the workers don't get shit.
Gonna die. But yeah. Alright. I mean, I don't know. That just seems like weird. That seems like just like a weird union to be.
Well, the
like
unions,
it just doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right, but it's because the unions have control and they've had control since before, like 100 years.
It doesn't even like take much to like start a fucking union.
It's not really union so much as an institution at this point.
Yeah.
Ewoks. How vicious are they? Are there any Star Wars horror novels?
I mean,
Return of the Jedi. Right?
yeah, they almost cooked people, didn't they?
They didn't almost do that. They literally did that at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
They took their heads and made fucking drums
It
out
was
of
getting a
Shit,
bit
I forgot about
graphic.
that. Yeah.
That's why I was like, these little furry fuzzballs. How savage are they?
Well, they're very
Isn't there there's a horror map in Battlefront 2?
I mean, Han was shorter than Luke, wasn't he?
Han was not shorter than Luke.
Was he not?
No.
I thought he was.
Luke was short to be a stormtrooper.
Oh, okay. Heard. I forgot about that.
So Leia's an Ewok sympathizer is what you're telling me?
You saw the movie.
Yeah. I don't know if she's
okay.
like. I don't know if she's.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. They literally destroyed an evil empire.
The Ewoks had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, but
They
can
were-
you really
they were
call
ju-
the Empire evil when, like...
The Ewoks were kind of
greater
just like
context of
murder,
Star
and then
Wars.
they helped people murder people.
Well, yeah, that's basically what we do with every war.
I mean,
Hey, take our guns. We can help you destroy these people. I swear we're on your side. We don't have any other intentions. I swear. Scout's honor.
literally, the Ewoks like just murdered people. Like that was it. That was their entire part in the world.
Well, no, they didn't start murdering people until they murdered their people.
Yeah,
So it's like Vietnam.
but like you can't say they helped, like, bring down.
Who the
They
fuck
didn't know
is
the
playing footsie
Empire
with
was a
me?
fucking thing. They just were murdering because people were on their
Jim.
land. I haven't touched your feet, I promise you. My feet have been just like this for like a hot minute.
Jim, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I do, actually. Do you?
No,
Why not?
because I believe in demons, angels.
Do you?
That's what I believe in.
You do believe in demons and angels?
Yeah,
Yeah?
if that makes any sense. Spirits.
I mean, but you don't believe in ghosts.
In context of what I grew up believing in Christianity, I would not believe in ghosts. What would you define a ghost as?
Well, hang on. So, yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
What would I define a ghost as? Well, I wouldn't consider it a demon or an angel, but like I don't think ghosts can possess. I think they can just kind of.
Well, would you call a ghost a spirit then?
sort
Just like a
it's-
human soul that's drifting? Or would a ghost be like
It-
just any
it-
scary boogie monster that
No,
can
it-
float around in air?
No, it'd be more so like somebody who has died and it'd be their soul still like not maintaining physical space, but like
Okay, well,
haven't gone to what is it, purgatory yet?
okay.
And or heaven?
So, you believe in that?
I think that sometimes spirits can linger. I believe
Do you
in the
believe
soul.
in angels and demons then?
I don't know. I think I believe in demons. I don't necessarily know if I believe in angels.
Yeah.
I feel like the angels in the Bible have kind of been misrepresented a little bit. I feel like they've been like how they're supposed. I feel like we see them as something.
Did
different.
you just correct the Bible?
No.
Wait,
I'm correcting our interpretation of it. I'm correcting what I believe might be a misinterpretation of the Bible.
I want to add on to that. I think they also misinterpret demons and
See,
well, I think it should mean a more metaphorical thing. His demons got him. It's just like human urges that someone has like an addiction to or something. I don't think it's an actual fucking demon.
No, there's a very No, demons and angels are supposed to be they're very physical, they're very real. Like you could meet, like in real life, you can meet a person on the street, shake their hand, they would be an angel or a demon, you wouldn't know it. Like they can take physical form, like they're basically an alien, but they're for or against God working for them. Now, demons, on the other hand, have some different weird restrictions on how they get back to hell or some shit with hell. Angels, on the other hand, work for God in their army. And then, like, say when a person dies, there's supposed to be, like, thousands of angels around their fucking soul as they go to heaven.
Have I shown you the movie Dogma? It was like Kevin
Yeah,
Smith
we watched that. There's, like, a bunch of Catholic...
Well, he's a
lore in
Catholic. Like he's like an actual Catholic that goes to church, like, and he makes funny movies. But what was I bringing that up for? Oh, because oh shit, what was that?
you want to know who else is an actual Catholic, goes to church and makes funny movies? Mel Gibson.
Mhm.
Yeah. Not a. Well, I mean, nothing. Based on what you said, none of that is untrue. You didn't say anything about his character.
Well, which comedy? The Passion or...
No, Braveheart. It's the funniest movie I've ever seen.
Okay, I do love this scene in Braveheart when they're like mid-battle and he just swipes the dude's leg off with the long sword.
I think my favorite's when he stabs him with the spear and the water comes out and baptizes him. Oh wait, that's the wrong movie.
One thing I've never understood is why, like, some people are like where they are. Like, how did we evolve as a species in, like, some of the places that we are?
Say the last thing.
Like, James. Back on track.
What?
One thing I've, like, always kind of thought was weird is, like, how people developed as a species in, like, some of their, like, geographical places that they are right now. Like, think about it. Like, think about Egypt. There's so much, like, stuff in Egypt that is, like, just devoid of all life. Like, how did you develop as a city and a civilization when you're out in the middle of, like, nowhere? Like, I know that there's plenty of, like, fucking life. Like, it's not all desert like they make it look, but, like, it's a very barren region.
Since he's not going to respond to anything you're saying.
Yeah, Egypt's barren. What about it?
Okay, so the whole point I was trying to say is how did certain people, like, develop as a species and a civilization in, like, some of the regions that they're in? Like,
migration.
See, but here's the thing. The Egyptian civilization...
Survive, adapt, overcome.
The Egyptian civilization is one of the earliest. It's one of the two earliest civilizations that we know of, that we've ever found evidence of. It's one of the oldest.
You understand that 2,000 years ago, along the river of... what is it? The Nile River?
Yes.
You understand it was like a jungle. Like, there was trees and vegetation all along the sides of the river. There was fruit.
Yes.
Like,
just along the sides of the river, though. Like, I know that that's where, like, most of the cities popped up, but still, they had to have made it there. And to get to the Nile from pretty much fucking anywhere is a long journey through, like, nothing. Because Egypt has been, like, that region has been desert for a long time.
I don't know.
So, like, what made them go there in the first place? it's just it's weird. And like the Sumerians, who are also one of like the earliest civilizations we have, they were in like a much better spot geographically, and it was weird.
If you have an army and you have enough slaves, you can do anything.
I mean, I don't know. It's just weird on how like some like people ended up where they are. Like, how did the Inuits like end up in just the worst living conditions ever and have like, well, not prospered, but has maintained civilization there for years?
I think a real question is, why didn't these people move out?
Exactly. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting at. But like, why'd
Like
they
Siberia,
go there in the
large
first
majority
place, too?
is uninhabited for a reason.
Yeah.
People were smart enough not to live there anymore.
But like, why did they live there in the first place? Like,
oh, yeah.
why did they ever try to?
Siberia. Think about being in the woods in Siberia. Bears.
And a bear just comes out of nowhere.
Not lions. Tigers.
Yeah.
Bears, tigers, wolves.
It's like people
what the
talk about
fuck?
Australia, but like Siberia.
You go far enough north and there's polar bears.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck.
It's always all of like Russia is just insane.
You ever watch Deadliest Catch?
Yeah,
I haven't.
Really?
No.
I feel like you'd enjoy it a little bit.
I've seen a couple
Like,
episodes and they were pretty like cool and extreme, but it was like, you would do that for $35 an hour? Why?
See, it's
cold.
It's not a show that you should ever watch by choice. It's something that like just comes on and like it intrigues you. Well, yeah, yes and
so
no.
he's on in the hospital waiting room or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Or if we go over to Hunter's house, keep the dogs entertained.
I don't know, but it's like it's something that will pique your interest enough to hold you for like at least like one episode, maybe half the episode if you joined in like middle of it. So,
Pop-Tarts.
Do you agree that cigarettes are like one of the worst things to ever be invented and like controlled by like media that have like blown up over time?
No.
Why? Why not?
Worker productivity.
What'd you say?
Worker productivity.
I mean,
It's the same as, have you looked into caffeine?
People
are more addicted to caffeine than anything else.
Oh yeah.
Worse than cigarettes.
What about sugar?
Caffeine is a lot of it. There's a lot in soda. There's a lot in coffee. There's a lot in energy drinks. There's a lot in
everything.
Everything. And
I like root beer.
Okay, but so your caffeine addiction, like the levels of your what do you call it? What do you think? Your tolerance is extremely fucking high, and if you take that and if you say you go off caffeine completely, like you just have to go bread and water almost, right? And there's physical changes in your brain that happens, and you're coming down off a chemical dependency just like heroin.
Just like heroin. Like exactly like heroin.
Not exactly, but like
Okay.
you'll be fucking convulsing and throwing up and wishing someone would shoot you. Anyways, so when you say cigarettes and nicotine, it's not as bad compared to caffeine.
See, but like,
and the damage it does to your lungs and the mouth cancer and the lung cancer, yeah, that's bad. But shit, if you got a really bad life, I'd rather smoke them as you got them.
See, but like,
it's a personal choice. It's a freedom.
Caffeine hadn't been like super blown up by like media and advertisement. Like back in the day, like everything had like smoking tobacco was just like it was the cool thing. It was everybody did it. All the famous actors did it. Everybody did it. And they like just showed like all these people doing it. I'm like, yeah, these people probably drank coffee too, but like they don't look at it like that. They looked at like the
part of the caffeine addiction was introduced in the 50s and 60s with coffee breaks. They were in the workplaces and offices. You get your coffee break. you're refueled, you're energetic, you get back to work. Same with the cigarette breaks. I mean, they're bad, but like, so are vapes. Vapes are going to kill you too.
Yeah. There's not a lot in this world that can't kill you.
Exactly. So.
Like, we need water to survive, but like enough of it can kill us.
And
drowning in it.
well,
will kill us,
cigarettes is interesting though, because it has to do with what type of cigarette you smoke.
Yeah.
There's filters, not filters. You know.
What's the point of like not using a filter? Like
Flavor. If you got a really nice strain of tobacco.
I mean,
it's like
sure,
smoke.
but, like,
it's like rolling a joint.
I mean, sure, but like just
So
getting
if you
like
roll your own cigarettes and you don't put a filter in.
I know, but I'm saying like just getting like a fucking like store-bought cart of cigarettes.
Well, they add tars and other chemicals in there that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Besides the nicotine. And that's harmful. I don't know. It depends on how much you smoke. I mean, there's old ladies that are in their fucking 80s and they've been smoking their whole lives a pack a day and they're still alive.
Yeah.
So it also has to do with genetics.
Imagine that being like the most consistent thing in your life.
Yeah, smoking after every meal,
Yeah.
It's a habit more than anything else.
Yeah. That's fair. It's like a tick.
Yeah, but like, it's also time to yourself.
I mean, not all the time. You
You
can
got
smoke socially. It's just
Yeah. A lot of people get started social smoking, yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
that's how a lot of people start drinking too.
yeah, but like, you finally get that moment to yourself.
That's fair.
There's worse vices than smoking.
Oh yeah, that's not what I was saying. I was more so saying like there's
Shit,
not
who are the
one
type
that
of
was like advertised as much.
The interesting thing is, who are the type of people who smoke?
Everybody.
Everybody.
There's not like
everybody.
Like,
and so when they raise the taxes on cigarettes, like they do now through inflation, and other what do you call them?
What if everybody just quit smoking? Like that would fuck over taxes, cause like they collect so much tax money.
Do you know what happened in prisons when they took out smoking? War.
Yeah.
Cigarettes became a commodity, became an underground thing. You know what happened to tobacco if you got rid of smoking? It'd be like weed. People would grow it illegally. It'd be a huge underground thing. You can't do that. This is America. You can't just ban that shit.
Remember when the prohibition was the thing? What, like... I don't know, man.
If you got rid of smoking, America would fucking...
They'd find a way.
Not find a way.
What do you mean? They wouldn't? You don't think they would?
Do you know how many people would be mad smashing windows and shit?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, they'd find a way to get it, is what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah. They'd find a way.
Like, 100%. Like, fucking, in...
Do you know the way?
That's not what I was laughing about.
I know, but
like, if you think about, like, in Japan, guns are completely, like, illegal. Like, you pretty much can't get one. You want to know who has guns? The Yakuza.
Yeah,
know who
but
doesn't?
the
All of the
Yakuza
place.
is the most powerful mafia in the world.
Well,
They are. They have fucking billions, and I think it's almost a trillion, through what do you call it? Different financing things.
yeah.
Different what do you call it? They have a lot in stocks and trading and shit.
Yeah.
They're very smart. They do what the cartels do with their money, where they diversify. But they're Japanese, so they're smart as hell. Do their research, invest in the right stocks, right companies, right people. When they diversify, take control.
Pop culture. What's Katy Perry up to? Do you know?
Do you know her personally?
Do you know what she's up to nowadays?
I don't remember Katy Perry.
The last thing I remember her was that movie,
She was in a
the
movie?
interview, or whatever.
She was in a movie?
Yeah, James whatever goes over to North Korea.
Yeah, the interview? She was
Yeah.
in that?
Yeah,
Like, she actually
they
was?
say there was like a whole sing about that.
She
They were
wasn't
singing.
in it.
They were singing about it or whatever.
Well, yeah, they
talking
had
about
her songs. I thought
They
you
were
meant she
singing
was
Firework.
in it.
All right, whatever. That's
That's
the last thing
not-
I knew about Katy Perry.
That's fair. That movie came out when we were in, like, middle school, dude. That's an old movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not an old movie, but, like, you know.
Well,
I can genuinely say that I don't know what she actually looks like.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
Like,
can
I
only
think of Katy, I think of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Or Hannah Montana. Like, when I think of Katy Perry, I think of one of those.
Not Hannah Montana.
I don't fucking know. Well, like, old school Hannah Montana, not, like...
You know, the one with the blonde wig.
did you know that Texas started building the wall?
Good.
Like the state of Texas, not the actual federal
I think
government.
Canada should build a wall. I think every single country should build a wall.
I think the fact that we're paying some
just,
3
like,
million a
have
day
gates
not to build
at
the wall is
planes.
bullshit. Lord of the Rings.
What about Lord of the Rings?
What's your favorite movie?
What's my favorite movie, The Lord of the Rings? Have you ever seen that edit where it's Aragorn charging the gates of Mordor, and then like they like edit it so that everybody's still just standing there, so it's just him charging in by himself. Anyways, that one's my favorite movie because every time I watch it I think of that. Or I think of like the mouth of Sauron, and I'm just like, that is the ugliest thing I think I've ever seen.
I like this scene with the giant spider.
Yeah.
Whatever the name of that thing was, because
Um,
apparently no other
Shelob.
creature in the entire universe had been able to fucking damage it. And
It's
then here comes along Sam, and he just whacks it with the sword,
well, yeah, but they also like weakened it with
kills it.
the star thing.
Still did
Yeah,
it.
that's-
Still did it.
That's Shelob. Have you ever played any of the games like the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of
No.
War? Oh, well, she's like a main character in those. Like the spider thing, she has like a humanoid form.
Oh.
Hmm?
Gross.
she's
I
like
hate
a-
spiders.
She's like a telepathic spider. She worked for like Sauron for like a really long time. Well, they worked like with each other. Her mother is an even bigger like demon spider thing that's horrifying.
What
Dude, the Lord of the Rings lore is
that scene in
so weird.
dude, I love Lord of the Rings though. Like that scene in The Hobbit when they get in that spider's nest or whatever.
Oh yeah, in the
That
in
was pretty
Mirkwood.
cool. Yeah.
Did you ever see the old animated one? The old animated Hobbit movie? Yeah.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I remember watching that. We rented it from the Bismarck Library,
Yeah, samesies, bro.
and I watched it.
Scratched ass.
And then I completely forgot that it existed for years. And then I watched the movie The Hobbit, and I was just thinking about it, and I was like, wait a second. I just realized I've seen the old animated movie of this. And my dad's just like, there's no way I ever let you watch that. I'm like, no, I did, 100%.
Hobbit was pretty cool, I guess. They had a huge budget, a lot of CGI.
That
They could have tried better.
I really enjoyed, like, the first, the Desolation of Smog was the second Hobbit movie, right? Yeah. That one I
shit was
really
cool.
enjoyed. Just like the conversation between him and Bilbo was just dope.
Yeah. And like
that
the winter
whole scene.
scenes and like the lake city, that shit was cool.
But like when I watched the Desolation of Smog in theaters, and like I still remember like when he like completely like rose up out of like the sea of gold coins, and you felt it in the whole movie. That is like that was one of the best movie moments I think I've ever like.
Dude. Yeah, I went to all three of
Experienced.
them with
Yeah.
my dad when they came out every
Same.
Christmas. Anyways, yeah, and then like the dogs, those giant wolves or whatever.
Oh, yeah, the wargs.
Those were cool as hell.
Yeah, they're dope. Oh, do you know anything about like the extended lore of Lord of the Rings? Because there's I think like 5 more books about the history of Middle Earth and shit.
I got
Like,
really
there's
interested
the
in like.
Silmarillion, which is ridiculous. And
I mostly got interested in like the swords and that type of stuff that they had.
that's fair. Like the Andoril and the what was it called the first time? Because the Andoril is Aragorn's one, the reforged blade.
Oh yeah.
And then the first one was Isildur? No, Isildur was the person.
Sting was a cool one.
Yeah. Sting is the most iconic. It just is.
Yeah. There's no getting around it.
Yeah.
The ones the orcs had were actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
Just fucking really simple.
Very crude. But like there's
The elven swords.
yeah.
Those were always. Even Gandalf's sword.
What was his sword called again? Glambring or something like that?
Whose sword?
Huh?
Whose sword?
Gandalf's. It was like Glambring or something. I don't remember.
Glamdring, yeah.
Glamdring, the foe hammer. And then
The other name is Beater.
the beater.
Oh yeah.
The
Who was
beater,
that
the
hobbit
foe hammer.
in the Hobbit or the dwarf or whatever? Oakenshield.
Thorn.
Fucking Thorn. Yeah, that fucking.
Son of Thor.
shield.
Son of Thor. No. Thor,
Yeah, that fucking
son
log
of
for a
Thrain,
shield.
Son of Thor. Did you know that Philly and Killy weren't supposed to die? Like in the books, one of them survives. But I'm pretty sure in the movie they both die.
Yep.
Yeah. It was sad.
I read the halfway through the book.
I read all of the Hobbit book, but I could not read the actual Lord of the Rings book. The thing is literally a Bible.
I read Band of Brothers at the same time I read The Hobbit.
These are two very different stories.
I added 2 late book reports.
Nice.
The last surviving member of the company, Easy Company, passed away. Shanks, Lieutenant Shanks or some shit. I believe that's who he was. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Shit, I couldn't imagine being over there, dropping on D-Day,
Yeah.
going behind enemy lines,
There's
most likely drowning in the fields that the Germans flooded.
imagine if like a worldwide like open war happened. Like it'd be
Now,
and like yeah, like right now, but like everybody refused to use nuclear weapons.
you asked me not to get political.
It's not politics, it's war. It's a little different.
Okay, well, it's
Because this is
happening.
world politics, not just
You're
US
not Alex
politics.
Jones, you're James Holmes.
Okay, James Holm is telling you right now that Biden has decided to back Ukraine and send them troops, money, whatever the fuck they want.
See,
So
I know, but like I'm not getting. I don't mean like the politics of what would lead up.
what
to
would
the war.
happen?
I mean like imagine like
You know-
us on a
Okay,
battlefield.
so the amount of what would happen is all the ships and fleets, the nuclear warheads that we have would actually be used on the battle, like the aircraft carriers, submarines if they could.
But like, let's say we stick to our accords, and we don't use nuclear weapons, and it's just like full blown
Holocaust
soldier,
by bullet, genocide by bullet.
Yeah, soldier warfare.
People, the lights are going to be shut off. People are going to starve to death for the most part. Most of the third world will be cut off and starved to death. Lots of chaos, and the only actual maintained armies would be Russia, China, some of Europe. Most of Europe would fall.
You wanna know what's weird? This is like like the U.S. is highly prepared for war,
It depends.
but like compared to so much of the rest of the world, like there's so many countries that just aren't prepared for like anything. Like not even like
That's
an
what I mean,
invasion.
though.
Is like they like would
They
just
could
get-
even stand against their own civilians who don't have
Yeah.
guns. And
It's-
so, but
like if there was like not
well,
that it would
you know
be
that
easy.
Russia has a foothold over Europe with the gas and
Oh, yeah.
oil.
Oh yeah.
You know those people are just gonna starve and freeze to death.
Mhm.
Same with us.
But,
Like America, it depends. It depends because America has some sort of shadow government elite, if you want to call them that, and they can either have America unify and stand and fight as a nation and put people to work, and like for a nation to go to war, you have to put the masses to work and be producing, factories going up, building bombs, tanks, shells, etc. It's got to be funded. The economy has to be rolling. But it doesn't seem to be that with there being a lack of a border wall, Biden shipping immigrants around in the dead of night. There's no way America will stand as a nation unless, it's just a fear tactic going on, that constant fear mongering, and eventually they want some sort of what do you call it? Race war. They want the UN to come in.
How would they get a race war like that?
Well, they wanted a race war, I believe. It would be more of either a class war or do you know what tribalism is?
Yeah.
Well, it's basically that, but like you say all the white people are MAGA and Trump lovers, and you say all the black people are Biden supporters. If you push that narrative and a certain amount agree to that.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, something like that.
Well, James.
I'm just rambling on. I don't know.
This is why half the time you say stuff, I don't believe you. Most of it, I believe.
It's.
But
You can call it a race war, but like,
See,
all right, let's
I
not
feel
call
like
it.
the
Let's not
war
say
is too
race
much
war.
of an extreme
Yeah,
term.
I would say more like mass looting and rioting, and
But like, I don't know. I don't.
All right, change topic. What happens when they take away the police?
let's change the topic.
What happens when they take away the police? Well, I think we'd be the only country in the world that wouldn't have some sort of police force. Because every country does. Even countries that don't have guns, they have police force. It's just kind of like a general thing. I don't agree with getting rid of them. Changing the fucking standards? Yeah, maybe. Like, yes and no. To some things and no to others. Like, I know too many people who have gone into a criminal profession being somebody who certainly shouldn't have.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
But
Same with like prison guards. What I would have to say is it's not like it's the same with COVID. You can't just have one solution for a bigger problem. Like you would have to address the whole problem of like setting bonds and actual jail reform, prison reform. You know, there's a lot of maniacs that need to be locked up
that
aren't because they're being set out on cheap bail.
Because they're too busy making rap videos.
There's that, yeah. I mean, shit, yeah, that rap guy fucking plowed into like 40 people in Wisconsin.
I was also talking about Cardi B like drugging people and like full on admitting to it. and like how she's just like
She's a heroin
Jay
addict.
chilling. Yeah.
People listen to her and like take her advice and take her like listen to me, vote for who I vote for, and it's like you're addicted to heroin.
You should never listen to famous people's opinions on politics. Like, I don't know why anybody would ever.
No,
like,
never. Except Ted Nugent.
The Nuge. State of
Well,
I'm
movie.
trying to stay out of the political stuff.
Okay, yeah, I got
know
you.
what it has to do
Okay,
with
so
water.
movie theaters mostly make their money off of being a giant vending machine, basically selling their popcorn and snacks, and that's where they make most of the revenue off of. I think they maybe make 20% off that ticket that they sell, but most of that goes to the.
Dude, that's why they'll have like $5 movie nights every like Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah.
You want to know what had $5 movie nights every single night? AMC. They're not open anymore.
Well, and then no way the industry's dying. It's a social thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun to do.
It'll
It's just
never...
going out. You need it.
See, I feel like that's because Disney Plus has started like taking their movies. Their movies will come out. They'll be out for a week, and they'll be on Disney
Well, just
Plus
think,
for free.
drive-through movie theaters would be a booming industry again. People would totally be down for that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like, it's just
It just takes up
too much to
space for
maintain.
nothing, too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not worth it. And like,
It's like the concept is great. Like maybe having like one or two open in the country would be cool, and then they can be like tourist attractions, and then they'd make even more than they
yeah,
would
but
regardless.
like,
But still, it'd be. I don't know.
it has to do with like it's a seasonal thing. It has to do with the weather. I think you could do one that makes a lot of money. It'd have to be in Florida or Texas or California.
You would just have to put it in like a tourist spot. Like
Yeah.
they could probably put one in like Medora or something, and I'm sure it would be a pretty good hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially with the old people.
But that's the
Like-
thing, though. You can't just have something that's only open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights out of the week. That wouldn't make enough money. It has to be open 24/7 or 5 days a week or something
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
We're talking about dumb shit now.
Well, we're still kind of talking about the movie industry. We're just kind of branching off into other
Alec
things that are cool.
Baldwin,
What
should
about
he
it?
be held accountable?
For beating his daughter, or what did he do now?
He shot somebody in the
Oh
face.
yeah, shit. I forgot about that.
He beat his daughter?
Yeah, have you not heard about that?
No.
The whole like roast of Alec Baldwin thing would like they roasted him so much about like him being like a shitty dad. And then his
I can
daughter
imagine.
got up on stage and started like giving him even more shit about being a shitty dad. Her name's Ireland. Yeah. Ireland Baldwin.
Is she drunk? An alcoholic?
I don't think so. I think she
Okay.
like completely resents her dad for being an alcoholic. So
Okay.
I don't think
Well,
she is.
anyways,
but I might be
all
wrong.
the YouTube videos debunking Alec Baldwin not pulling the trigger is so funny. 'Cause he had a single action revolver.
Who was that one guy who was in like a ton of movies, but then they found out that he was like a pedophile or some shit?
You're
it was
talking
when
about
we were-
Hollywood, Jim. That's 80%. So
Okay, but like it was when we were in high school. It was our senior year, and he was in like yeah, that guy.
oh,
Kevin
dude, I
Spacey.
remember what okay, he was in that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare or whatever.
He was in so much shit.
It's so oh my god. And then you're just like he's a pedophile.
There was a thing.
House of Cards.
No, that year, the year that all that shit like came out with Kevin Spacey and shit, like the year that everybody's just like, oh shit, he's a pedophile, yada yada yada. I remember this in government class. We were watching the celebrities read the Declaration of Independence video. You know, the one that starts with Morgan Freeman, and then like I'm pretty sure it has Mel Gibson in it too, and like it just
Oh my
it
God.
goes through all these people and it gets to Kevin Spacey, and the entire class bursts out laughing. She's like, "It's not funny," and we're like, "Why are you giving us this to go off of for like how we should honor our country?" And it's fucking Kevin Spacey.
Like
Oh God. Imagine like being that famous and still like thinking that your life is private enough for you to do fucked up shit. Like
Like that CNN anchor who jerked off on camera in front of everybody for like a solid 30 minutes on Zoom, just didn't bother to look that he was live or unmuted or anything, and then didn't get fired.
that fucking
And
happened?
now he's on air and he's talking shit about the other CNN anchor who just got fired for things worse than sexually assaulting your staff. So, yeah. Welcome to CNN. Totally not a pedophile. Right?
I hate every news outlet, all of them. There's not a single good one. There's just not. If you say Fox, I might hit you.
Even Fox talks shit about Fox.
Okay.
Do you know how funny it is? Oh shit. Okay, so like there's times where like you can watch Tucker Carlson or Sean Hannity or it depends. Like all the women on there are bullshit. Like I've seen clips of them like you bring up George Soros and they're just like, "Oh no, we can't talk about him." They change the topic real quick. Like they're all Fox is definitely corrupt. They're definitely fearmongers.
See, I feel
There's certain but
every news outlet, I just feel like there's
an agenda.
yeah, like they don't actually care about keeping people informed.
There's a couple.
They care about keeping people informed about what they specifically want these people to be informed about. Like they don't want to give them the whole picture. They want to give them their side. Which is like the whole like finding an unbiased news outlet thing, but like you just won't. It's like yeah, I don't know. The only unbiased news outlet that we have access to is other countries because other countries
Yeah, I was just
will,
gonna
like,
say there's this Australian one I watched, Sky News Australia.
Yeah, because they'll discuss our politics, but it's literally unbiased.
Yeah, it's really crazy because I'll watch them.
Or like British ones. Yeah.
Have you seen their legal system? They wear wigs still.
Did you know that the Queen still has like enough power to the point where she can't be arrested because every single law is written in her name?
Imagine being put to hanging by a dude wearing a wig for fancying somebody's fanny.
I can't.
In the Queen's palace.
Show that like if you kill a swan, it's like it can result in like capital punishment. Like
So I'm moving to
like
Britain?
it can be an accident, but like if you accidentally kill a swan, you could get the death penalty for it. Because every swan in England is her queen's and just her queen's.
You know, I bet if I had a chainsaw in Britain, I'd be like the most armed person there.
Pretty much. Well, their military has guns.
It's crazy
just
because they got like
not their police.
HK M416s and shit. Like, not M416s. They 416s or some shit. Anyways, they got like HK, like MP5s and full automatics. Like, our police don't even got that shit. Most of them. And they're just strutting around with their assault rifles. Compared to that, to America, where they just got their like pistol, their patrol, like the rifle in the patrol car.
Yeah.
If you were a Viking, what would be the weapons you would carry?
If I was a Viking, what weapons would I carry?
Yeah, I'd have that short sword they had, an axe, a shield.
Have you ever like
knife.
felt different like weapons in your hands?
Heavy, very.
No, like just in general. Like, did any of them like feel like better to you than like other ones?
Yeah, love my K-bar.
I mean like swords and stuff. I know that like it's a
No,
knife.
I haven't
but,
held
like,
a lot of swords.